Alright, so continuing where we left off, you have managed to acquire a whole lot of explosives, exactly like around 400 kilograms of them. High grade, high quality stuff. After that you robbed from the local ammo depot. And as you're leaving the building, several hundred meters from your position, towards the edge of the base, on one of the buildings, you see several figures landing. They're using jetpacks. Their armors are, I mean, they are not using custom homebrewed armor. They have like regular assault suits and combat field uniforms, but they are custom made in a way that they have, when you look at them, they bring the idea of wolf. You know, they have this like aesthetic, wolf aesthetic. In a way, their helmet and armor is painted and has this like small adjustments in its like how it looks. They seem to be unbothered by the combat around them, and you only need a glance to know that they are bad news. But because of the rolls, you can haul us back through the point you entered and go down and give the helpers, a portion of your helpers, more explosives. However, before you are going there, actually, Ivo and Wedge, you can both make me a notice skill check based off wisdom.
No, you said?
Notice based off
Notice.
wisdom. Okay, and this one has psionics. Question, Ivo, are you using cloaking powers?
I am not.
Alright. And let me double check, I need to see how this is called. Where is metapsionics? Oh, here. One round of visual inspection. Alright. So both of you notice just before you break line of sight and enter the underground portion again to like deliver the explosives to your helpers, that one of the elite enemies that just appeared on the field raises a finger directly in your direction.
Oh shit.
So you know
Cover.
that as soon as you deliver explosives, you will have trouble incoming. Out of character knowledge, that Wolfpack has one metapsionic.
I figured they would.
And that's not the only power they have.
I figured that as well.
Alright, so as you rush downwards and leave the explosives in the hands of your helpers, like, do you say anything? Like, prepare for trouble, or?
Yeah, I tell them to hurry up, as I feel like we should find a corridor and hunker down and try to, like, bottleneck them.
Sadly, it won't be that as easy.
I know.
I said essentially, yeah, instead of like a map, like this can be pretty moving combat. On one hand, like you have the underground maze of sewers, abandoned corridors, metro tunnels, and whatnot that you can move around. Battle can move at the base itself and using buildings as a cover, and generally just moving around the battlefield and trying to move into like keep it close quarters or not really, and maybe run towards where the large portion maybe there will be more helpers or even if you want to, and if that your and if this is how your description would go, you can also try to like the battle can maybe move upwards in like the governor's spire itself. Yeah, let's see if Kruger would actually hear you speaking with the equipment he has and the skills and abilities he has and the fact that he has specialist notice on level 1. Not really. Too bad, he would have like a nice one learner. Like, oh, pretty boy, you are out of time. Yeah, but he doesn't hear that, so as they're like trying to haul us, your helpers, you'll like hear more footsteps coming downwards, and like instinctually you have like this knowledge in your gut feeling that the trouble is coming. And actually, let's see if your characters even heard like rumors in this past months about Wolfpack. You can, I mean, you have a choice. You can either make just luck saving throw, maybe because you are lucky to hear something, or you can make a no. You can make a no skill check based off your intelligence or wisdom, but the DC for that would be 10.
How about with luck save?
Let's see. No. Is that intelligence or wisdom?
Yeah. Either or, yeah. Yeah. Sadly, nothing came up, but you are experienced enough to know that these guys look like bad news. From the way they are armored, the fact that I mean, at least a portion of them have actual like power armors, and the fact that the panicked radio transmissions from the rebels indicated that when they landed and make their way to the base to find you, they didn't seem to be impeded all that much, and they seem to actually, yeah, carve through everything that came their way. Okay, sadly, it seems like even if Ivo would have thought about escaping, if you leave now, the helpers will not be able to finish placing explosives in time. So, shall you stand and fight?
Oh, gonna have to.
Yep.
Very well. Let's make initiative rolls.
Oh, sorry. And
Yeah, but you got an 8, so...
Where am I at? There's me.
hey,
And initiative. Actually, I'm going to use my ability to have my initiative be one higher than the next person's highest. Well,
Okay.
like than the highest enemies. So I will
Yeah.
get before them at least.
Okay. Okay. So this guy has alert on level 1, but that doesn't give him bonuses to initiative. But he has Kenjutsu style. So that's something. So he would have a total of that much, and he rolls twice. So either that or... Okay. Wait, I didn't add Kruger? Okay, so he got 6. Now, psionics. I gave him precognition, but I do not think I gave him the power. Yeah, he also have intuitive response, so yeah, normally you got 7, right? So if that psionic with intuitive response gets an 8, then he goes before you. Or rather, he yeah,
He has the same ability as me.
that fragment. Yeah. There's also one psionic that has a precog that has intuitive response. So essentially you would go before everybody else, but if that psionic rolls higher than you, then only him goes before you.
That's fair. So we still roll, but if he rolls,
yeah, you determine between the two of you. Okay, so he would have how much? Yeah, plus. Yeah, +1 actually. Okay, so for precognition psionic, he got an 8. So if that makes sense, so he would be first, then because Ivo uses his ability, then he goes next, and then Wedge. Assuming no other enemies roll higher, so that's the precognition enemy. Which means I actually have to make him 9 because Wedge rolled an 8, so with the infinite response he would go before Wedge. The other psionic doesn't have precognition, but he has meta psionics, so he only rolls. Okay, the marksman. And the heavies, the ones that are running around with with something that at a first glance looks like a heavy machine gun, but is anything but. Okay, and then normal elites. Do not worry, when we'll get to your turn, something else will happen, because you are not that outnumbered. I just need to double check with his precognition. No, teleportation. So proficient teleportation, spatial awareness. And perceptive dislocation. Alright, so as you are spraying around the field trying to look for a good place to fight, The wolves have come to you. The beasts are at the gates, trying to tear you apart, and the first one that comes at you, they definitely seem like they have like high quality equipment, and they definitely seem like experienced psionics. Perhaps they were even the same result of the same project that Ivo was a part of, but either they decided to stay on their own volition, or they were brainwashed and changed so much that they are willing to serve. Okay, and as he's moving, you see that there's something weird. As he's moving, there's like a glimmer, like a shift, like a glitch around his air, and because of what he has, I mean, I'm not saying in character what he has, but because of what he has, so he's gonna start stabbing, or rather trying to make a... He pulls out his stun baton, and there's like a flash of arc of electricity going through it, and it's like looks like a very advanced version. I basically homebrewed like a TL5 version of stun baton that has like a slightly higher damage. And because of what he has, and I need to like keep track of that, as an instant action, he will make a melee attack against Ivo with stun baton.
Fun.
Because he has something that allows him to do that.
Yep. I know exactly what it is. I did not take it.
Okay, so he can do that only twice. What's the icon I should use? Wings, maybe. I mean, Guardian Angel, let's say. Okay, so he tries to strike you. He's not a nemesis. The only nemesis in that group is Kruger, Captain Kruger. So he tries to hit you with stun baton that deals non-lethal damage, although it still only like takes from the same pool of HP. So that's 8 plus 8 to hit. I guess that's a miss.
That is a miss.
Okay, as he's like shifting through the reality and blinking, oh my god, the fucking bug
That would go
again.
off my armor.
Yeah, like bounces off, but he's like, oh well, I'm already here, so because of what he has, he uses a move action
Yep.
to attack and basically do the same thing. I believe that's also a miss.
Yes, it is. My AC has not gone down.
Yep, and I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound. Getting frustrated as you are like currently, maybe even you are not engaging in like flashes of like, not even flashes of light, because usually the powers are like invisible, but he like tries to wail at you, and there's like this like bounce effect as he cannot pierce your telekinetic shield. But instead of like retreating and trying to perhaps maybe find a better spot or hide to not get blasted, he's going full in on that, and he will also spend his main action to make a melee attack. And I think the way I described it, that yeah, because I mean they are elite, but they are not like super elite, so I'm mostly deciding that if they miss, they just miss instead of like picking different options. Like the other high tier enemies might actually have option to like pick different stuff. Okay, yeah, he's like he either hits or misses, and there's nothing like else that can. Wow. Okay, so after a lot of ineffectual flailing, he is though he is. I mean, because it makes sense because he had to like use all of his attacks on like in melee, even though he didn't use move action to engage, but because of what he has. I would say that yeah, he is engaged in melee with Ivo, but so far he had absolutely no way of actually damaging him. But Wedge, yeah, you see that Ivo has already been engaged, but there are more enemies incoming, and you have a tough fight ahead of you. However, because this is your turn, and it's not like all of the helpers are doing the explosives, and basically, as I said at the start of the session when I mentioned that I'm not gonna say how many exactly do you have, and this is why. Because this is your turn, I'm gonna roll to see how many helpers, NPCs, basically people that can support you in fight and basically act as meat shields essentially. You get in combat for now, and you get 2 of them. It's something. And now that they're in
Right.
action, I'm gonna make a roll, and yeah, it's your turn.
Alright, so I'm okay. You take can you handle the guy by yourself, or
Yeah, I'll be fine.
alright? So Wedge is going to take a move action and find some cover.
Alright, those are sewers, abandoned tunnels, so there's a plenty of room to find cover, plenty of walls to stick behind. So I'm gonna say the DC to find full cover, like to get like full benefits, would be 6.
Alright.
It is really damn easy to do so in this situation.
Watch me fail. Nope.
Alright, you'd get benefits from full cover, which means every enemy gets -4 to hit you.
Alright, and he's with his main action, he's going to aim his laser rifle at one of the enemy combatants. Let's go with this guy.
Very well. Because of what he has, you get minus. You get -1 to hit him.
Alright. Can I? What's this burst thing?
Burst thing is that you spend more ammunition. Actually, I should probably for the next homebrew stuff I should think about how the burst fire should be changed. Because in vanilla game, burst fire means that you spend more ammunition, but you add a bonus to hit and damage. And let me double check the book where is it described. Yeah, burst mode. Yeah, you fire more ammunition, but you get +2 bonus to hit and damage against the target.
Alright, then I'm going to use the burst on that. So would that? So would I put a +2 on the modifier?
So you get +2 from burst, but he gets because of what he has.
Alright, so
has,
+1.
Yeah, so only +1. To hit, however, +2 to okay, but the damage is included. Okay. Actually, the burst is included in itself, so that would
Oh.
be -1 mod, so 11. Okay. So that is a miss because the psionic has assault suit, which is like a powered armor.
Let's
However,
see.
yeah, because you missed, but you get options. As in the rolls miss, but
Need to double check. Alright, ranged attack. I'm gonna say that we exchange hits.
very well. Give me just a second. I'm copying some stuff. Very well.
Hey, we're all here for you,
That
man.
means you. Okay, so that's 9, which is translated to, I believe, 4 points or still 3. Heroic combat rules. 9. Yeah, that's 2 points actually. So you managed to get a hit that doesn't kill him. Yeah, we'll see how you like that. And then he tries to, because you like give him a chance to like hit you back. He makes an attack roll, and actually, exchange his free attack roll. So, yeah, he's actually, because that's only like a normal ranged attack, so he also is gonna, he has to use like ranged weapon, and he cannot use any of his special abilities. As for range stuff, out of character information, they have shear rifles, which is like a tech level 5 weaponry that essentially when it hits the enemy it causes like a, it's essentially like a micro black holes that basically it causes gravitational disruption within your body, and it like basically shears your body.
Oh.
Yeah, they have like high level stuff.
So they're firing many black holes at us.
Something like that. I mean, I don't know how to better explain, so I'm just gonna quote the. Yeah, and you realize that when he fires that, there is no sound. This is one of the absolutely silent weapons. Completely silent in operation, because when you use like regular weapon, kinetic weapon with silencer, there's still some sound. This one is like completely silent. Okay, so he tries to hit you, and you have full cover, so he gets +4 to hit instead of +8. And does he have anything that gives him better to hit? That's a negative. Does 20 hit you?
If
That's with the
that's with the
modifier included, yeah.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Because normally he would roll with +8, but because you have full cover, that's -4, so that's only +4. Okay, so that's the damage of shear rifle. And you basically count it separately, so that's 2 and a 3, so you take 2 points of damage.
Alright.
As like this unseen force of tearing gravity flies next to your shoulder or something, and you feel like, that was a close one. Very well. Okay, I believe that's your turn.
Yep.
All right.
What about the? I'm guessing the mooks are the blue ones.
Yeah, and they roll their own initiative. They act on 4.
All right, good.
All right, Ivo, and I think, yeah, because Ivo is now acting, I'm gonna be nice and say, okay. So as the combat starts going more and more, additional support comes by, and yeah, you are currently engaged in melee with somebody who thought that he can take you.
I probably miss.
With 13, yes, and obviously he also has this thing that makes it that you get -2 to hit him.
Mm-hmm.
And have you included that, or?
Yes.
I have.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't. No.
Yeah, I don't see that, but it doesn't make a difference because they have assault suits, so you need like more. But the question is, do you miss him or do you pick a different option from the melee attack action?
Looking at the options again. Alright, they're not there. I thought there would be in actions in combat.
I mean, that's the vanilla. The homebrew version is like a folder, handouts, homebrew, and like main actions.
There we go. Thank you.
I probably should change the order so the homebrew handouts are higher.
I'll take the B option. I'll get a free attack roll.
Okay. I mean, you count that he's still gonna be missing like a little bitch.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so we hit him for, and you have, okay, so that's counted to 10, so that 3 hit, oh no, that's 4 actually. So you strike a massive hit, and there's like a grunt of pain, however, he still stands. And, yeah, he tries
I will
to...
also spray die him. But...
Yeah.
Oof.
And 4, that's translated to 1 point. I mean, sadly you cannot get more than 1 point on a fray die, so you bring him that close, but with that...
Not quite enough.
Yeah. I'm still standing, traitor! Have at thee! And then he tries to bash you again with the... stun baton. And like instinctually Ivo has like an idea that even though he's using lethal force and they are fighting and he's like flailing at him with stun baton, he probably would prefer dying instead of getting captured again, maybe, who knows. But yeah, it's clear from the weapons they are using that Ivo is like they trying to capture, everybody else can just get killed. Okay, so he rolls with +8. Okay, still missing, and I believe you still have a move action.
Yes, with my move action, which...
Do remember you are engaged in melee.
Yes. There's no...
What are you looking for? Because as I said, like this is not finalist list, so if you think that there is some option missing that should be there, feel free to say it, and I will remember to tinker it in like the future iterations of this homebrew.
I can't think of anything specifically, but things to use your move action with, like how you can like get into cover and that kind of stuff with ranged. Maybe something similar for melee.
I mean, I think the closest similar thing would be defensive stance, which means like you get higher AC against melee attacks.
Oh yeah, there's it there. I will do defensive stance.
Alright. Okay, Captain Kruger. As in, like, you don't know his name, but as like, essentially when like this group comes in, they start moving like a professional, like special forces squad, like exchanging orders, you know, full like keeping low, proper military stance, spreading throughout the corridors, goggles on, throwing, like when they enter, like throwing flashbangs and whatnot. Alright, yeah, I forgot about that, sorry. So, but that didn't make a difference because he still was missing like a...
Missed. Yeah.
I think I need to like put like an icon on your token to remember that. Because that's a seeded tower, and the other icon would be... Because that's the simplet teleporter, so I'm gonna... Oh, yeah, because that's how I'm pointing at the these guys. The boot. Okay, so the Kruger... he like, you hear like echo slightly distorted from his helmet, because obviously he's like fully armored in like a heavy looking powered armor, exoskeleton, and he like gives this deranged laugh and Mr. Ivo, a pleasure to hunt such a dangerous prey. My name's Captain Kruger, and this is my Wolfpack. I hope you will give me a proper challenge.
Coming at me, you'll just make sure that wolves will be extinct like they're supposed to be.
There's a wolf in everyone's heart, but I see some sheep useless around me, and I want this to be between us. And he... Instead of trying to go straight for Ivo, he... Actually, what he would do...
Call off your men, I accept your challenge. Let us fight, just you and me.
If you'll try to... I mean, on your turn. Yeah, Kruger... As a move action, he will... Fucking hell. Yeah, unbothered, as a move action, he will proceed to engage one of the helpers, one of the NPCs that was just running into the area.
Well, they're dead.
And he pulls out, like, at the first glance you think this is a knife, but it definitely looks very high quality and there's like a weird shimmer in it. Essentially this is a nano knife, which is like a TL5 thing. And he proceeds to stabby. And because he's a nemesis, he rolls with that much. Yeah. And his damage is inflicted straight. So, in a like phase of this combat, you suddenly see that there's like a flash of blade, and then for whatever reason, just around the mid portion of the chest, going through the neck and up into the head with a flash, and the flesh is torn open. Like he manages to like make a cut and carve the poor fucker's head into two, killing him instantly. And as a fray die, because he also has this one. And actually I forgot, because he has Kenjutsu style, so he also gets he doesn't get bonus to damage, but every time he rolls a melee damage, he also rolls additional d8. Yeah, so that guy is even more dead. So instead of like a one slash, there's like in a span of a moment, he like makes several cuts, and there's this like moment of stillness when the one of your like revolutionary allies stands still, and then on his face red starts showing up, and then his like entire face head just falls into pieces, being torn by the nano knife. Okay, and as for the ray die, yeah, he has that much. Maybe maybe another one is passing by and he like makes a short throw of the knife, and then the knife embeds, like it was closed, embeds itself into the chest, like the another one falls down, and then he like pulls it out. Although I'd say they are on 0 hit points exactly, so they are terribly injured, bleeding out, but they are not dead yet. And because of another thing he has, as an instant action, he will try to assess his prey. Which means he makes a notice wisdom skill check. And he will assess Ivo, what he might expect from Ivo. But because Ivo is that one, I'd say the DC for that in the current situation will be 12. He does roll with +3, and he has specialist notice, so and he gets it. Yeah, essentially he like fluff wise, the knowledge translates into like in-game knowledge, but he knows what is your total attack bonus, your HP, your AC, and like your special abilities, so he might understand, figure out like what psionic powers do you have, assuming he didn't have your dossier beforehand and read about what sort of abilities have you manifested during the experiments.
Well, have fun reading through that. There's a lot there.
Yeah. Yeah, telekinesis. Yeah, by the way, if I will be forgetting, remind me about the like modifiers that you should have, especially like with the soften blow and whatnot. Okay, and I believe that's his turn. These guys actually, the one with S, as in for sniper / designated marksman. Essentially, their move action, they are trying to find a good position so they can have line of fire, preferably as long as possible. Because they are walking with very dangerous looking long rifles. Out of character information, those are portable railguns, which is a pretty dangerous shit. Anyways, move action, positioning, trying to get to a better position with yeah, +3. However, those are the sewers, so the DC for that would also be 12. And they only roll... I mean, though they're also like based on heroic fighters, so... Okay, so he doesn't manage to find like a solid spot, which means he gets -2 penalty to his AC. How should I notice that? Like a broken shield icon. Let's say with this one. And the other one, I want to do the remove actions first. He will try to do the same. Yeah, this is not preferable environment for them, so it will be easier to hit them. However, for their main actions, and I'd say actually because of what's happening and they cannot find a good firing position, they will just go with shear rifles instead of portable railguns. And well, let's see if they will hit, because Wedge, I have bad news, because they are trained snipers. Because of one of the things they have, they straight up ignore cover, as in they ignore the mechanical modifiers the cover provides. So they roll with their full modifier, but I still think that misses or no? No, I believe that hits, because you have armor class 17, correct? Wedge?
Hmm?
18, does it hit you?
Is that with the -4?
Yeah, because of what they have, they ignore modifiers provided by cover.
And then it just about hits my armor class.
Yep. Yeah, because they have Deadeye Marksman level 1. Because they are snipers, so that would make sense for them to have that. Okay, so they are also firing from shear rifles, which is still better because portable railguns deal 2d12. Okay, 5 and an 8, so that's translated into 5 is 1 point and 8 is 2 points, so you get 3 points in total.
Alright.
And because they have trigger happy, which means they get 2 range attacks per round, per main attack action. This one will actually make a second attack against Ivo, but in this case he only rolls with +4 because when the second attack is made only with like half of the total modifier, so that's a miss. Okay, yep. And as for the second one, he will actually make a 1 attack against Wedge and 1 attack against one of the remaining helpers. And actually, the main attack against the helpers will be with his like main, because he's trying to like clear the rubble, or rather clear the like. Okay, 16, that hits them because most of the helpers have like security armor that was robbed, so that's 1, that's nothing, that's 8, which translates into 2 points. He does get damaged, but he still stands. Which means he's gonna waste his second attack trying to finish him off, which he only rolls with +4. And he misses. Okay, those were the snipers, and now your helpers. If you want to, like in character, you can shout orders or rather like, take out these guys, focus on them, and whatnot. So if you have any preference what they should do, feel free to say.
All right. Take cover. Aim. Focus on the Wolfpack.
All right. Now that they can like they led by you, so they are not completely terrified by being like attacked by such a fearsome enemy and they getting already slaughtered. And because you made good rolls, they get access to like one move action, one main action. So yeah, so as a move action, all of them try to find cover, and DC for that is 6. So I think I base them off that, so they get +2 actually. Wow. Okay, one is injured, so he's like, what? I got like he gets like benefits from half cover, and the other guys. That's full. That's full. Actually, I should have probably. Okay, for this turn I'm gonna roll for all of them, but I think for the future one I'm gonna just make one cover roll for all of them. Okay, which target they should focus on?
Let's see. Go for this guy.
Okay, one of the snipers, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are all like trying to move around, like sticking behind cover, taking pot shots at them, and they are rolling with +4, and they need to hit 16 in this case because snipers failed positioning. Okay, so 4 attacks. First one, that's a miss, and they sadly only can decide that they are missing. They do not exchange hits. Second attack, that's a hit. They deal I believe 1 point of damage, which is something. So that's 1, that's 2, and that's 2 more. So third one, miss. Fourth one, still a miss. So sadly, despite their best efforts and the fact that sniper managed to like not really go in a right direction, like their tough armor is hard to like be disabled. Okay, elites, I'm gonna say, because even in this context they are like kinda like mooks, so they only get like 1 action, and I'm gonna say, as I was describing it, they're gonna focus this time on doing positioning move action, as they like spraying around trying to find proper like firing positions, so they can get bonuses to range attacks. And I believe positioning was DC 12, and they only roll with that much. However, they are not snipers. They are like, they do not have that good position. So for them, the DC for positioning would be 10. But still, that's a lot. And I'm only gonna roll once. Okay. So months or years of experience and training together show up as they are like moving in synchronization to get like a better firing position, but that's the only thing they can do in this turn. Okay, other elites. Well, they have, I mean, out of character information, they have something called Automatic Matter Forge, which, as I said, this looks slightly like a heavy machine gun, but it's essentially, due to very high-tech advanced abilities, it can basically almost create ammunition from nothing. As in the, like, they do not really bother with, they do not have ammunition problems. And because of what is going on, they also try to find better firing position, and for them the DC is higher because they have like heavier weapons, and specifically they try to bet positions that will prevent more support coming your way, or even if like more support will come, they will basically enter their kill zones, because for a move action they try positioning. And actually that would have been 11, not 10 for the elites, but that's still a pass, because they have like the focus that gives them +1 to positioning. And for these guys, they are heroic, so they get +3, but they need to roll 12. Okay, so both of them also have the similar issues. And for their main action, well, they, I think, either suppress or defend approach works, because they try to prevent the stream of reinforcements from coming in. I'd say they are doing the defend approach. Those allies who already entered will not be affected, but if any more allies will come in, they will be in a world of hurt, as those two guys set up kill zones. And how to point that? I guess with like a red icon. Okay, and the psionic, that is teleportation meta psionic. He actually got hit a little bit, so he's definitely looking for cover. He manages to find it, and although would he though? Yeah, he would. Because he wants to keep an eye out on Ivo, just in case Ivo would have tried to run, because psychic static.
Can't stop me. No one can stop me.
I mean,
I am inevitable.
I will see. Yeah, I need to double check like what's the psychic static says. Like this is, if this is like a like triggered action or instant action or precognition, psychic, no, not precognition, meta psionics. Fucking hell, where is it? In this bloody book. Okay. Instant action, okay. So as the move action they went for cover, and as a main action they are not that good of a shoot to fire into melee when like their ally and Ivo is fighting, so they're gonna go for I guess one of the helpers, maybe the injured one that has problems finding cover. So they roll with +6, not +8. To be fair, yeah, they are not gonna be using blink in this case. Okay, the injured one gets hit with a shear rifle, so I'm pretty sure that essentially, yeah. So that's 4, that's 1, 6, that's 2, so that's -3. Essentially, just a wave of gravitational disruption just tears a portion of their torso just away. Just like an unseen force inside just like twisted their bodies, and there's like a splash of blood. Okay, and the one that's engaged in melee with Ivo, he's continuing his assault, and because he's like so low, he is going all in, so he can only do this once more, so he's gonna use that. Meaning he's like spending all of his actions, like instant, move, and main action to like attacks. So normally he gets +8, but you have +2 to AC, and you also have he also gets -2 to hit you because of Discipline Teleporter. Is there any other modifier I forgot about, Ivo?
No, that should be it.
Alright. So that would be he's rolling with +6, and he needs to get like what, AC 22?
Basically.
Yeah.
No. +6 AC 20.
I mean,
Or
you have plus higher AC 2, +2 to
my
AC,
AC is 20.
and he gets, so you have AC 22, and he gets
Oh,
-2
right.
to hit, so
Forgot
he
about
gets
the +2, yeah.
+6 to hit because you took defensive stance.
Right.
Okay, so he will try to do it, and he continues to wail at you with like this like blinking movement and unleashing a barrage of attacks with his stun button still crackling with electricity. So rolling with +6. Okay.
Hang on a sec. I have something for this.
That's good, because we did decide that crits are common variant, and I would say that the elites, the normal elites, do not get crits, but the Wolfpack elites, they definitely do. And the break coming first attack to roll a successful hit roll. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm gonna make a reroll for that. So he rolls again. Yep, that's a very good use of this power.
That's what it's for.
The damage done is maximized. Oh, but if he hits still, that would have been
Yes.
rough. Especially that he can crit, so he would get like double the dice
Yes.
amount.
That's why it's rough. But
Although with stun button, that's D6. Okay, maybe it would have been that bad. Okay, but that was his like instant action. Then he also has like move and main action, so like continue. This won't help you again. And actually,
so it's like it's about to hit,
yeah.
and then I know where it's gonna hit, so I just step left instead of right.
Into it differs. Yeah, but I don't think he has anything that can help him with that. He's just fucked. Okay, so 2 more rolls. Second attack, that's a miss, and third attack, That's a miss. But he basically spent his blink, and he can only like make now one normal move actions and like one regular attack. Stun buttons proving ineffective, sir. Ah, you are just weak. Okay.
Stand back, I'll show you how it's done.
Okay, let me double check, because the cover lasts until the start of your next turn. So, Wedge, it is start of your next turn.
Alright,
The cover bonus goes away for now.
let's see. Try to find another cover, more cover.
Yeah, so like shifting across the field and like
Yeah.
going throughout the corridors. Okay, yeah, the DC stays the same for now. As the battlefield will be shifting
Ooh,
just
good thing.
enough. Just enough. Okay?
And another burst, laser rifle burst at one of the snipers. So that's.
Do you want to try to damage one that was slightly damaged before?
Yes.
This one was slightly damaged, so.
10.
Okay, sadly with even -2 to their AC, that's a miss. However, what you want to pick?
I am going to say. Another exchanging hit.
Okay. So that's okay. So that's translated as 1 die modifier. So that's translated into 4 points, which is a massive hit that almost takes him out.
Do I get fringe damage?
Frey die, not for essentially because they are based on heroic fighters. They have higher hit die than you. Ivo can use the Frey die against them because he's a psionic.
Alright.
However, you are not, because that's the thing the psionics have, that they Frey die can use against anyone essentially.
I cheat.
And mind you, because this is like balanced by the fact that their Frey die is like d4, so that's
Yes.
like not much. Okay, but however, if you want to use Frey die, actually, before we get to that, let me see if the sniper will actually manage to hit you. You have full cover, so he. Yeah, so he rolls with +4. I believe 15 misses. That's with the -4 already included. Yeah, I believe that's a miss. Okay, and you can use a Frey die on one of the like normal elites if you want to.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. What was it, D4?
No, you are an expert, so your Frey die is I believe this 6.
6.
Okay, I think that. Okay, and 6 translates into 2 points. I mean, any elite in specific you want to damage, or?
The one closest to the other group.
Okay, so like it doesn't really. They are like mostly in a similar position, so I'm gonna damage that token.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say. I mean, just to show how it works, because that was your turn, so. So as these, actually I should just like make one that's completely clear template. Oh, cannot use the name template because it copies template name. Okay, so as two more guys try to like come by, the effects of the defend approach activate, and that means they have to make an evasion saving throw. And because both of the heavy machine gun guys, or rather like antimatter forge guys, are focusing on defending approach, this means that that's -2 penalty, and because both of them have overwhelming firepower, yeah, that's a lot. And they have like, I imagine level 2 or 3, so that's -8 to evasion saving throw, which means that those helpers have no chance of doing that, because they need to roll 14 or higher to get half damage. So that would have been like something like that. Because those heavy machine gunners have focuses that specifically augment their ability to
Shoot people.
yeah, defending approach. They specifically have focuses for improving the defend approach move. Actually, no, sorry, I'm wrong. They took to suppress, so it wouldn't be that bad. So it wouldn't be -8. It would be actually -2. But that's 4 and 7, so that's not enough. So they're gonna take full damage from both of their weapons, which is like one guy, second guy. Okay, so that's 4 to 2, so I think that's 3. Yep. And then that's nothing, and 6 and a 5 is 2 and 1. Yeah, so suddenly I should hear like from a different one of these like corridors slash tunnels, like, "We're coming, sir, we're gonna help you," like, and they're like rushing towards, and there's like and they're like blasted as the like a volley of gunfire a volley of fire just cuts them down.
Should have reminded them to put the leave the red shirts at home.
Yeah, they are fucked. Actually, I should start like the dead ones to the side. To just see how many. One is bleeding out. Okay, but that would be like Wedge turn. Okay, Ivo.
Alright,
Okay,
you ready for this?
I believe at the start of your turn the defensive approach goes away.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, that's a hit.
And I'm gonna Frey die him.
I mean, before that, because that 6 would have been enough to like.
Oh, then
because
I will
6
Frey die.
translates to this to 2, so that he yeah. Okay, how does it look like as you manage to take him out? Yeah, even with -2, that's still a hit because he has like discipline teleporter too.
I'll just run him through with the telekinetic spear, just straight through the gut. Then with one hand, I'll take his stun baton and basically telekinetically chuck it at Kruger for the Frey die.
Okay. 2 translates to 1 point. Okay. So it like
And I'll
bounces.
just look at him, say challenge accepted, and start moving towards him to engage him.
Yeah, so it like bounces, and there's like a small spark of electricity that goes over the armor. Cute. And question is, do you want to like shout out like in case, and because on your turn, like more helpers will also try to come, but
I'll just yell out, the rest of you stay back, we got this.
okay. Okay, so I won't trigger like new helpers because they will probably get mowed down by the heavy machine guns.
They can focus on setting up the bomb.
I mean, those guys that are coming, I'm not taking them away from the
Okay, that's fair.
bomb squads. They are just like, because of their roles previously, I'm just like, they're like this summoning help assistance that you get because of your preparation.
Fair.
Okay, so as a move action, you'll do the engage towards Kruger?
Yep.
Alright. Okay.
Me and you.
Okay.
Just us.
Okie dokie, this will be fun. As in, this will hurt. Assuming he hits you. And you are pretty tanky at all, actually. Okay, so you get -2 penalty to hit, or rather I get, because you have discipline teleporter, right?
Yep.
Okay, so he rolls with +10 instead of +12. Because you did engage, he doesn't have to spend move action to engage himself. So yeah, he's gonna go straight main action attacking you. And you definitely see, I mean, the focus is called Kenjutsu style, but essentially it doesn't have to be like Japanese martial arts style. But it's clearly a sign that he has training with melee weapons and he knows how to use them. If you didn't like notice from the fact how he carved one of your allies to pieces. Okay, so he rolls with +10. I believe that's a miss.
That is a miss.
Okay, he doesn't have anything to reroll. And what kind of move action he could use? He's not gonna go defensive because that's just like no bueno. Yeah, I guess that's it. That he's gonna not spend like move action at all, but he will use his Frey die. I'm gonna say, because it makes sense in fiction, that his Frey die that he uses against you, it's also non-lethal. Because I imagine this is just like, he misses the main hit, but he like, with his style, the stun baton just whirls in his hand and he manages to like find a spot. Okay, so the Frey die damage is that much, so you take 6 points of non-lethal damage.
So I'll take 4.
Right, because you have the softening blow.
Yep.
But I imagine you will like keep track of this.
Yep.
Okay, the snipers. Yeah, this is the elite squad, so they will not break and they will not. They actually fear Kruger more than they fear death. So they will, even damaged, injured, they will not run away. So yeah. But actually, instead of finding a better firing position, they will try to stick to cover. Yeah, and for now the DC is still the same. And they roll with +3. And both of them actually. Okay, so they find cover and they essentially, as they are like moving from cover to cover and trying to take pot shots at the enemies, and they have Deadeye marksman, so they are ignoring full cover of anybody else. So the injured one, I think the injured one was almost fucked by Wedge. So he's gonna try to repay him in kind. So he makes both attacks against Wedge with +8 because he's ignoring full cover. Actually no, because the first attack is with +8 because he ignores full cover, that's a miss. The second attack he makes with half of his modifier, which is only +4, which both of those miss. Fucking hell. And and like, help me with that one, the boss has the other one. And basically the second sniper, hearing his injured comrade, will do the same. Focusing fire on Wedge. I believe that's a hit, and the second one with +4 is a miss. However, they are firing with shear rifles because the railguns don't really work for this. Okay, so 4 translates to 1.822, so you take 3 points of damage.
Gotcha.
Okay, those were the snipers and helpers again. So you have one helper bleeding out, and I think that's his second turn of bleeding out. And the 3 guys that are standing alive, what they should do. This one is heavily damaged, this one was slightly hit, and this one was also like damaged.
Focus on finishing off the wounded ones.
Okay, so I think this one will try to hit the. I think they focus on the sniper first, the one with the shear rifle. However, they do not have dead eyes, so they just roll flat d20 against the sniper, and they need to roll 18 or higher. Who knows? Maybe they will be lucky. Close, but not. Hey, would you look at that? Sadly they are mooks, so they do not get crit range, but I think this, unless he rolls a 1, that should be enough to... yeah, actually one of the helpers will take out the sniper.
Hey!
7 translates into 2, yeah. Like sending a spray of bullets, he manages to nail the fucker. And like, maybe they were like hit before, and like this wound is just like enough. Oh fuck, I'm hit! And then, and then he falls down, like gargling with blood. That was the second attack. And the third one will go against the elite because they do not have like that much cover. Sadly, that's not enough. Okay. So, because they have preferable positions, they can now focus on firing. And yeah, they're gonna just exchange fire with your helpers. And yeah, they also roll apart from. Oh no, wait, because there's their turn. I also should have rolled to see if they managed to get cover, full cover again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Okay, all of them did. Okay, so they also roll flat d20 against them. Sadly, that's a hit. And what they could be using? Mag rifles. Which are pretty rough. Okay, so that's 4, so that's 6. So that's points, 2 is 1 point, so one of them gets brought down. Not killed outright, but they are bleeding out. Ah, fucking hell. That's the icon I should be using. So that was one. Oh wait, no. It's still the elite fight, normal. Okay, other ones. So that's still 2, 4, 6. Miss. Miss. Miss, and that's still 3 attacks to go. Another hit. Hit. And miss. So they get 2 hits. Okay, let's see if the... But they are elite, not Mook elite, so they do not get critical. But they do get damage from mag rifle. So the first one is 2 and 10. So they are fucking dead, because that's 1 and that's 4. So that's -5. So suddenly like not I mean mag rifles are like kinetic weaponry, just like slug, the speed of the slug just like punching a hole through the head and it explodes in a shower of gore. And the other hit, let's see if they will survive. That's 8 and a 2. They will get brought down to 0 and start bleeding out from damage that they took. Okay, so for now... That many helpers dead. Oh, I didn't delete that one. My mistake. I'm like, what? I have more tokens down there? Yeah, because I was doing something.
I know we wanted to finish this tonight.
Yeah,
or today. I'm starting to fall asleep a bit.
I'm aware. We can get to the start of the turn and then we can decide what to do. Okay, heavy machine guns, they continue defending approach and they do nothing else. Maybe they try to find a better spot actually. But that's still like DC. That's a miss. That's a hit, so they actually have a good firing position for them. But the other one is still like fucked. And the one is trying to stick to the cover because he wants to keep back and support Kruger in case Ivo tries to escape. And that's basically the whole thing he's doing. And that one is dead. So, okay, I mean, I mean, it's your call if we want to go properly through the entire fight next week, or do we want to basically describe what happened and make an epilogue of sorts? It's your call. If you want to do this next week also or not.
I would be fine doing it next week because I want to see how it plays out, to see how the epilogue goes instead of just saying something happens.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, very well.
Yeah, it's just
I mean, I assume you want to stop now because it's already
Yeah,
been
it's
some time.
it's 1 o'clock.
Okay, understandable.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna call it for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I will see you next week.